Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to the NoDQ live recap of Monday Night Raw from May 13th, 2019. This week's Raw took place overseas in jolly old London, England. The show did air on tape delay. The spoilers came out earlier in the afternoon over on NoDQ.com. How's it going to everyone watching live in the chat room? I appreciate your viewership and being part of the chat room. And I also would like to thank everyone for watching on demand as well. Let's go ahead and get this review started. And perhaps afterwards, I'll discuss the matches that have been signed for the WWE Super Show. And this is not in Australia. This is the WWE Super Show, I guess, Part 2, which is taking place in Saudi Arabia on June 7th. I will give my thoughts on those matches in just a few minutes. But first, we have Raw to talk about. The show opened up with Miz TV, and this wasn't just any old Miz TV segment. This was the international edition, because WWE was, of course, in London. We had Miz talk about Money in the Bank, talk about his match, his steel cage match with Shane McMahon this Sunday at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then he introduced his guest, the big dog, of course, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns appearing on Raw now every week again because ratings are down. And we have the wild card rule now. So there you go. Roman Reigns on Raw this week. The crowd started singing the "Oh, Walk with Elias," and Roman Reigns just laughed it off. He referred to Elias as a karaoke performer / wedding singer. Miz talked about how him and Roman Reigns, even though they haven't seen eye to eye, they actually do have a lot of things in common, and thought that maybe the two of them could get together and do a buddy comedy at some point. Reigns thought that Miz was a total geek and said that he was coming off like the old Miz, and Reigns said that he would punch the old Miz in the mouth. Reigns then showed the footage from last week where Reigns was getting beat up by Shane and Elias, and then we had Miz make the save for him. Reigns said he wants to talk to this Miz. He wants to talk to the new Miz. Miz then got fired up and said he knows how to bring a fight, and then he told Shane McMahon this Sunday at Money in the Bank, quote, "You're going down faster than your old man to a Superman punch." This led to Shane McMahon coming out and saying that Miz TV has been canceled as of that moment. Then we had Bobby Lashley and Elias attack Reigns and Miz from behind. Shane decided to make a tag team match because it's Monday Night Raw. You gotta have the opening talking segment turn into a tag team match. It's just standard protocol. You gotta do it. So we had the tag team match, of course. Miz got beat up for pretty much the entire match. And then just as he was about to get the hot tag to the big dog, Roman Reigns, Shane McMahon attacked Reigns, causing a DQ. He threw Reigns into the steel steps. There was a brawl on the outside with Shane, Lashley, and Elias beating down Miz, and then Reigns did the big Undertaker dive over the top rope onto the three guys. Next up, we had an AJ and Seth Rollins video package, which, as usual, good stuff here. Nice video package. Probably better than anything else that has been done to set up that match, quite frankly. TGS says that he said EC3 is hot. Well, there you go. I mean, some people would agree with you, TGS. We had a Braun Strowman promo, and he talked about how he was asked if he was feeling remorseful about what happened. He said the only thing that he was regretting was the fact that Sami Zayn did not be crushed into a cube by the dump truck. Braun said that he plans to win Money in the Bank, and then we saw Sami Zayn complaining to Shane McMahon backstage about what happened. Braun showed up. Sami said he wants Braun's spot at Money in the Bank. And Sami even said that he would fight for it in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Shane McMahon said, all right, you got your match. And then Sami said he'll throw Braun in the dumpster as a way of getting payback. So you had to know, why would Sami Zayn want this match so badly? Tune in later to find out. We had Mojo Rawley, who apparently got a hold of, what's his name from Liar Liar, Jim Carrey, got his blue pen and started scribbling it on his head. We had Mojo Rawley versus Apollo, who I completely forgot is from SmackDown Live. They had to mention it, that he's part of the whole wild card thing. Why, I don't know. Whatever. Apollo started selling his knee, and Mojo, like a shark that smells blood, went after it and made short work of Apollo. So, yeah, Mojo Rawley getting push number 35 now. And he's got blue ink on his face. Yeah, I give it 2 weeks. Backstage, we had Alexa Bliss talking to Nikki Cross, and Nikki, for whatever reason, was talking like a totally normal person. Alexa said that since her gear was lost, she cannot wrestle, and asked Nikki to take her spot in the match, and Nikki was like, sure. Nikki just was happy to get a spot and an opportunity because she hasn't really done anything at this point since moving to Raw. Next up, we had the contract signing. Yeah, a whole 2 weeks since a contract signing took place on Monday Night Raw. But this was a double contract signing, so there you go. It's all unique and innovative now. We got the double contract signing with Becky 2 belts. And of course the crowd does what's already, in my opinion, played out, the Becky 2 belts chant. It's just getting old, in my opinion. Typical segment with these contract signings, you know, trash talking back and forth. Becky said, one of you dopes cannot afford to lose your first championship match, and the other one cannot afford to lose your millionth championship match. Becky then offered them a free shot, to which Lacey Evans got up and they started to brawl. And then we had, I know this is shocking, everybody. Hold on to something right now. You had Charlotte and, well, mostly Charlotte. I mean, Lacey Evans barely did anything, but the two of them put Becky through a table. Holy crap! I cannot believe it. That poor table. That table has a family, man. It's like just table abuse week after week in these contract signing segments. Man, such shocking television here to see this table get smashed. The carnage. DJ Whitey with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, DJ. He says, yo, Aaron, sorry going off topic, but I'm at work again. When it's time, do you think that Lacey Evans should pull off the upset? She's clever on the mic, got the size, and good on drawing heat. Well, actually, this is not off topic since I just mentioned Lacey Evans, and I think she's an opponent to face Becky Lynch on a pay-per-view, and that's going to be the extent of her push. Unless WWE decides that they love her like Vince loved JBL back in the day. So, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but, I mean, I feel like Lacey's going to get, you know, the 1 month push, and then that'll be it for her. Unlike JBL, Lacey is fairly new, and, you know, she's just basically getting the flavor of the month push right now. You know, with JBL, I mean, he was there for a long time. He was in the company for a decade at that point. So I think Vince wanted to reward loyalty. So it wasn't exactly the same thing. Sean Smith with the $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Sean. He says, I did not see Raw, but thanks for the recap as always. You're welcome, Sean, and thank you for the super chat. Hamp Connell with a $2 super chat says, that segment will put ratings through the roof. I mean, first thing I would do, people ask me, what would I do if I was in charge of writing Raw? First thing, no more contract signing segments. Those would be done once and for all. I would not even bring them back once in a while. Get rid of them completely. I've never been a fan of the contract signings because, first of all, it doesn't make any sense when you're advertising a match without a signed contract. Like, why would that even be a thing? Why would WWE hype up a match, print out advertising, spend millions of dollars to build up this match, and then say, oh, by the way, we have to sign the contract. These guys haven't actually contractually committed to the match. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. The whole concept of it is dumb, and it's just lazy writing. They're so predictable. The two people argue back and forth. Sometimes the table breaks, sometimes it doesn't. But it's the same old crap every time. I'm tired of it. Get rid of it. Now, let's move on here to Baron Corbin versus Ricochet in a momentum match heading into this Sunday's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. As you know, it's all about momentum with these big matches leading up to the pay-per-view. And you got to have every combination of the participants at the pay-per-view facing off in various matches to build up that all-important momentum. Baron Corbin got his usual cue card intro, and then Ricochet came out with the sound effects. Baron Corbin won clean with the end of days. Afterwards, Corbin, for whatever reason, tried to climb up the ladder to grab the briefcase and hold it up for that, all-important momentum camera shot. But then we had Ricochet push Corbin off the ladder, and Ricochet's music played. So there you go. Ricochet not completely buried, but he's already lost twice now since the Superstar shakeup. So there you go. Next up, we had Rey Mysterio being interviewed backstage, and Cesaro approached him because we need to fill time and we need some random guy to face Rey Mysterio. So it's Cesaro. Cesaro comes up to him and says, when did you bring your kid to work day? And then said that Dominic, Rey Mysterio's son, actually looks more like Joe than him, which I thought was a pretty funny line because Dominic is definitely rocking that Samoa Joe hairstyle, which is terrible in the first place. I love Samoa Joe, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that hairstyle. But I'm one to talk, right? Cesaro questioned if Dominic is even Rey Mysterio's son, and Rey Mysterio was furious about this. A fight broke out, and this set up a match for later. Next up, we had a Roman Reigns video package. I believe this was shown already, but maybe I'm wrong. It feels like it's been shown like 3 or 4 times already. We get it, guys. I get it. We all get it. Roman Reigns beat cancer. He's amazing. But I think showing this video package and just making such a big deal out of it is going to backfire because you're just let it go. He beat cancer. It was a great accomplishment. He's back. We're all happy he's back. But when you keep rubbing it in everyone's faces, look at this brave guy for beating cancer. You just keep showing that over and over again. Then it just, I think it's really tacky when you do that, and you're going to have the fans resent it, and you're going to go right back to where you were with Roman Reigns. So, yeah. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. He says, watching Bret Hart versus Tom McGee, this kid could go places. Well, when you guys are done watching this, it's been the talk of the internet for the past couple months. Bret Hart versus this 80s guy who never went anywhere, Tom McGee. But the guy looked the part of like a big star, but it just didn't pan out for him. And the story was that Bret Hart made this guy look so good that Vince thought he had his next Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior on his hands. So yeah, it's really a testament to how good Bret Hart was. So when you guys get a chance, it's on the WWE Network, and it's something that a lot of people have been talking about. It's been one of those famous folklore matches. People have been talking about it for years, so go check it out. Just not right now. Wait till you're done watching this video. The This Guy Experience left a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, regarding Roman Reigns, I'm not happy he's back. I'm glad he's alive only. Well, there you go. I mean, I'm glad Roman Reigns is back, but I think what they're doing with these video packages and just really rubbing it in our faces, I think that's going to backfire on WWE. And I don't think WWE should be doing the video package over and over again and just bringing it up constantly. Let it go. All right, moving on here. We had an AJ Styles promo, and he just mentioned that his phenomenal forearm to Seth Rollins from last week was unintentional. He did not mean to do it. Can we put Renzo in timeout? Thank you. Moving on here, we had a fatal four-way match. Naomi versus Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Nikki Cross. Of course, filling in for Alexa Bliss, who lost her gear. We had Dana Brooke. Probably the highlight of the match was her bringing out a ladder and then jumping off from the top of the ladder onto the other three participants. Cool spot, nice little showcase for Dana. Only issue I have with it, and it's pretty typical with these kind of spots, is that the three people are just standing out there, and yeah, you want to be safe, you want to make sure you catch her, but it's just so blatantly obvious that it's choreographed. They're just standing looking up at her for like 5 seconds before she jumps. So yeah, I'd rather they not do that spot than make it so obvious it's choreographed, but that's just me personally, my own personal opinion. Anyways, we had Nikki Cross defeat Natalya to pick up the win and get momentum for a match that she's not in. Whatever. At least Nikki Cross is getting a win, so I mean, I'm happy for that. Afterwards, Alexa Bliss climbed the ladder to grab the briefcase and hold it up and celebrate. So I guess Nikki's a heel because she let Alexa do this. I don't know. I have no idea. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, Rift Aronson is more over than Virtue. Well, Rift Aronson's dead, but yeah, I would say that even in death, he's more over than Virtue. There you go. Simple as that. Next up, we had Rey Mysterio versus Cesaro, probably the best match on the show. We had Cesaro come out to the bar's music, and he's got his own Titantron. So I guess he's just going to keep using Sheamus's music from now on until Sheamus comes back, and who knows when that's going to be. The highlight of the match was probably the suplex that Cesaro did to Rey Mysterio while standing on the ropes, and he had him up there for a good 5 to 10 seconds. Cesaro he's a beast, man. He really is. But his momentum, I'm using that word again, momentum. His momentum did not sustain. He attempted the Swiss 1-9, and you don't do that. That's always the kiss of death in wrestling. When the heel attempts to do the babyface's move, that's usually the beginning of the end for the heel character. Rey Mysterio came back, hit the 619, and then hit the big splash off the top rope for the victory. And now, Rey Mysterio has that all-important momentum heading into this Sunday's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. We had the Revival with a backstage promo saying that shaving other men's backs, that's normal. Usos took things too far with the icy or Usi hot, whatever you want to call it. And Scott Dawson said that the embarrassment to the Revival stops now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if the embarrassment stops or if next week something else happens to those poor guys. Seth Rollins with a backstage promo, and before we had the commercial break, Rollins talked about how he broke the internet. Of course, he didn't say why he broke the internet, but for those of you that missed it, and I'm guessing you did not miss it unless you're living under a rock, the secret is out. It's no longer a rumor; it is fact. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are the newest power couple in WWE. It was speculated for months, and today Rollins posted a picture of him and Becky kissing. So there you go. The new John Cena and Nikki Bella. How long will it last? We had Bray Wyatt cut his promo, and he showed footage from 2006 when Tyler Black had a match with AJ Styles. And he said back then he looked up to AJ Styles, but after Money in the Bank, it's going to be AJ Styles looking up to him. Ooh. And then we had probably the highlight of the show, the latest Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse segment. Bray Wyatt said he has a secret, and he asked the kids at home if they want to see his secret. And by the way, the rabbit, whatever his name is, the rambling rabbit, was all sewn up and he's okay. So thank goodness that the rambling rabbit is all right. But anyways, Bray had all these scary dolls show up in the little video package, and then he unveiled that he is the newest member of the band Slipknot. But seriously though, the mask was pretty damn cool. He's got this like horror movie character look to him. Looks like something out of House of a Thousand Corpses, or maybe Insane Clown Posse, but even scarier. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. I like the mask. It's a nice change of pace here, and you know, it's something interesting. It's something that has us talking, and it's creative. So yeah, I like it. I do like the mask. I like the potential of this new character. And I would say this was the best part of Raw. So there you go. And he even did a scary little rendition of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to top it off. So yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. We'll see how long the momentum lasts for Bray Wyatt. Cindy with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Cindy. Says, off topic, favorite Slipknot song. Mine, Wait and Bleed. This might make me lose some popularity with you guys, but I was never a big Slipknot fan, so I really don't have a favorite song of theirs. Hate to say it, but like them and Korn, I could never really get into them, even though I love metal bands, you know, like System of a Down. But yeah, I could never get into Slipknot or Korn. So yeah, I might lose some cool points with you guys for admitting that. But yeah. Next up, we had, let's see, where were we at? Okay, so we had the main event. Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn. Falls count anywhere. The two of them started fighting in the crowd right off the bat. I actually do like Nickelback, so there you go. Not a big Slipknot or Korn fan, but I like Nickelback, so yeah. It is what it is. Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman fought in the crowd. Here come the dislikes now. Sami Zayn was trying to use everything he could find and throw at Braun Strowman, including beer to the eyes. I do like Tool, but damn Tool for not being on Spotify. If they were on Spotify, I would listen to them more. We had Corbin show up in the concession stands and start attacking Strowman with a bunch of trash cans, and the crowd started chanting, "Holy shit." So I guess, you know, they were just blown away by the idea of a man hitting another man with a trash can. Strowman got put through the merch table by Corbin, and then Strowman fought back, and the match continued. They started fighting in the backstage area. We had a lot of shaky camera work, which was just giving me an Excedrin headache. It was just not good. I was starting to not feel so good. Hamp Connor with a $2 super chat, going off topic here, says, do you watch Cobra Kai, the best show ever? No, I do not, but thank you for the super chat. Scott Briller with a $3 super chat. Aaron, why do they continue to bury Braun? I don't know. I wouldn't say he was buried on the show. I mean, let me explain what happened here, and I'll give you my thoughts on why I don't think he was buried. Drew McIntyre showed up and tried to take down Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman once again fought back. And then it took both guys, Corbin and McIntyre, double teaming Strowman. They suplexed him through a ladder, and then they put Sami Zayn on top of Strowman, and then all three of them were covering Strowman, holding him down, and only then could Braun Strowman stay down for the 3 count. So I don't consider that a burial. It took 3 guys to beat Strowman, and Strowman pretty much popped up right after the match. Corbin left Sami Zayn all by himself, and Strowman proceeded to choke slam Sami Zayn through the Raw announce table. So yeah, Strowman wasn't buried here. I mean, it was basically like everybody was working against him, and it took all this outside interference for the match to be decided in Sami Zayn's favor. So yeah, I don't consider it a burial at all. I think it's the right move to get Strowman out of the match. You know, he really doesn't need to be in it. Sami Zayn's a much better fit for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah. Psycho Jet Black with a $1 super chat. No comment, but thank you nonetheless for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Bry King just sent in a $5 super chat. Says, Aaron, I've been watching you since 2012. You inspire me so much. Keep doing your thing, brother. Well, thank you so much for that, Bry King. I really do appreciate your viewership and support, and I'm glad that you enjoy the videos. I really do. All right. So I'm going to give my thoughts on the current card so far for the Saudi Arabia show Super Showdown 2. Although I guess they're just calling it Super Showdown, whatever. Let's do the letter grade real quick before I get to the Super Showdown thoughts. It was all right. You know, for a taped show, I thought it was decent. Couple good matches. I like the Bray promo. I'm going to give the show a C. Just average Raw overall. Nothing special. Nothing overly terrible. Just average. An average episode of Raw for this period. So yeah, C Raw. Just straight up C. No plus, no minus. Just a C. Average Raw. Let's see what you guys did in the chat room. Kev Dog with a C plus. Steve with a D. Time Runs Out with an A, so he really liked Raw. Steve-O with a C. Chris Mace with a C. Newski79 gave it a C. CC Drink with a B minus. Cindy with a C. TK with a C. I'm seeing a lot of C's. Although Daniel and Zach gave it an F. So there you go. John Tompkins gave it a D minus. So, yeah, mixed bag. I do see more C's than anything else, so there you go. All right, so let's talk about the Super Showdown. We now have 3 matches announced for the event, which is taking place in Saudi Arabia on June 7th. The first match is the biggest battle royal, the greatest battle royal, I guess. A 50-man battle royal in Saudi Arabia. So I guess that'll be every guy who's not going to have a match. Pretty much every male member of the roster that doesn't have a match on the card is going to be thrown into that battle royal. And they'll probably throw in some of the Saudi Arabia developmental guys too, just for fun. So it's the greatest battle royal, or as Kayfabe Candy S puts it, the sausage battle royal. And Maw Wrestling says the Saudi Experience Part 3. I like it. I like that name, the Saudi Experience Part 3. Yes. I dig it. I dig it, brother. What happened to the Viking Raiders? They were not on this show this week. They were not on Raw. Oh well. I did notice their absence, if that means anything. So who will win the greatest battle royal? Depends on who's in it. If Braun Strowman's in it, would not shock me if he wins it. Just have him win another battle royal. He's going to be the new Andre the Giant, where he wins every single battle royal. Ooh, Samir with journalist on a forklift match. Ouch. That might be the savage line of the night. Maybe Lars Sullivan wins it, as Darius points out. So that's one match. We also have a rematch from WrestleMania 25. We have Triple H one-on-one with the Viper, Randy Orton, just cuz. You got to have the Legends match on the show. Evolution members going at it. Randy Orton, Triple H, whatever. I really have no desire to see Triple H wrestling, but he's got to wrestle because you got to have that star power since your current guys aren't big enough stars. So there you go. And then the main event. So on NoDQ Live a few days ago, I did address this. You can go back and watch that to get my thoughts. My thoughts have not changed. The main event for the Super Showdown, 15 years, maybe even 20 years too late, Goldberg versus The Undertaker. Yes, Goldberg versus The Undertaker, a match where the entrances will probably be longer than the actual match. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to do choke slam, spear, jackhammer, tombstone, and that's the match? Are they literally going to do like four moves in the entire match? Maybe they'll do a couple of chair shots to the back or something like that. They'll do like a no-holds-barred match. Goldberg will spear him into the barricade. Undertaker will do old school. So you'll get like 6 moves in this match. And it'll probably take them like 5 minutes to execute 4 or 5 moves. I get why WWE's doing it. You want to have that big marquee match in Saudi Arabia. They're making a ton of money for this show. Goldberg's making a lot of money for this show. But man, I mean, I'll be shocked if this is like even a halfway decent match. Like, I'm not expecting much. I'm literally expecting half a dozen moves in a 5-minute match. I think it'll be like Goldberg spears Undertaker through the barricade. Undertaker hits him with a chair. Undertaker does old school. And then it'll be their signature move. Spear, kick out. Choke slam, kick out. Jackhammer, kick out. Tombstone, Undertaker wins. I think that's going to be the match. If they do more than that, I'll be impressed. I'll be really impressed. All right, so that's the card for the Saudi Arabia show. We'll see what other matches get announced in the coming weeks. Will Brock Lesnar interfere at Money in the Bank? You have to stay tuned to the predictions video to see what we all have to say about that. So on that note, I will go ahead and wrap up this edition of the NoDQ live recap of Raw. Mike Hunt sent in a $10 super chat. So hold on a second. He says, not sure if you've touched on this before, but do you think YouTube is a possible cause of low ratings as well as poor product? I never watch Raw or Smackers now, just the main parts on YouTube. Not really, but I mean, I think it probably makes it easier for fans to not watch Raw live. I think fans, if it wasn't the YouTube clips, I think fans would find another way. I mean, for years, you've had people streaming Raw illegally. Like, you can find it on any website that does that stuff where they provide the streams. People have been doing that for years. People that don't have cable, they've used that as a way to watch Raw. So yeah, I think that it's a factor. It definitely makes it easier to not watch it, but I don't think it's the main reason by any stretch. I think the main reason is that Raw is just not a captivating show in 2019. It's a show where you don't need to watch it live, because if you miss it, oh well, you can catch up on the clips later. It's not like if you miss it, it's not like it's a cool thing to watch the show, because if it was, then you'd be upset. Everybody else is watching and talking about it, and you're missing out on it. Now nobody cares. In the No DQ chat, we had practically no discussion about tonight's show. I mean, it was pretty much Noah and Cindy, because they didn't want to be spoiled by Raw, so they held out. But I think pretty much the rest of us, with the exception of Caitlin, we were all reading the spoilers, and we're like, all right, we know what happened, nothing big, so nothing to really discuss. And I saved my thoughts for the video, and I watched it live just because it's my job. But other than that, I really have no desire to watch the show live. All right, guys, so that'll wrap it up now. Thank you all very much for watching and supporting. I will see you guys tomorrow night